Y'all know why we here. Y'all know why we here. Y'all seen the Jay-Z shit that came out. Again, the reason why I'm making this video, just to start it off, is choose a side and stay on it. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything else but that. Anything else but that. So before you, if you've seen the title of the video, it's probably gonna go with what that is, but choose a side and stay on it. If you're seeing why I'm picking up this interview, I think you know where I'm going with this whole video. Jay-Z came out on the stage to the Roots picnic again to sell us something, because that's what's basically everybody's ears is perked up. Is it an album? What else is he gonna say? What is he gonna basically, you know, what more is coming of Jay-Z that he wants to divulge into, right? But nobody's talking about the aspect of, are you sending shots? Is this beef? Or is it just you sending shots because everybody been sending shots your way? Now, again, I get the aspect of, like he says in this interview, we played enough defense, in 2026 is all offense, right? But it's almost like when he did this interview and when he said this, what I took it as is when you go about saying something, because of how he basically talks about how his views on the craft of hip hop and rap, how people don't take it serious, but he does. And when you say something, you got to be careful because that's people's families, that's people's kids. You know what I mean? That's how he says it. He portrays it as you got to be careful what you say because the consequences of what you say. You understand what I mean?
Break dances,
but he basically
not at the
goes
forefront
into
of rap anymore. It's actually an Olympics sport. So that's dead.
I still feel a way about this one right here, what he about to say about graffiti. And people didn't pick up on that too because nobody gives a fuck about art. Literally, the tactile and traditional and even shit, sometimes even digital forms of art. You know what I mean? Y'all know how I get down. You see the art in my background, but I still feel a way about what he about to say right now.
Graffiti.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
In certain places.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you mean by what do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that? But that's just me. I know. I'm back up. But yeah, I feel a way. What do you mean by that? In certain places, nigga. What do you mean by that? So you feel safer in the white neighborhoods with the graffiti around, with the gentrification going on, even though that's a little, my thoughts. Y'all, I don't know if y'all know my thoughts, but to me, gentrification is a form of violence against specifically Black American people. But that's just my thoughts. On some Rob Mark, that's just my thoughts on some Rob Martin and shit. But yeah, what do you mean in certain places? You know what I mean? Like, again, and this is in the same interview, he talks about how capitalism is thrown on his name as a derogatory term because it's like, who wants to be considered a capitalist? And also at the same time, he talks about how he's a realist, not an idealist. He's a realist, not an idealist. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean by that too? Like, at the same time he says that, he talks about, and I want to make sure that I go to it too. He talks about how he's a realist and not an idealist, but he talks about how he has to work within a structure, a systemic structure. But at the same time, he also said it's like a fucking mind fuck within a mind fuck. At the same time, he says that we have to understand the systemic structure that we all as Black people work within, right? But don't say the word aloud because nobody allows you. I need you to take, he tells the interviewer, I need you to take the allow out of your dictionary. We are beyond, like how he said to NFL, we're beyond kneeling. I'm still mad at that shit. He says that we're beyond the words of allow. Nobody allows you. But he says that that's realistic within the systemic structure because people are idealistic rather than realistic. He's selling y'all piss. And y'all gotta wake up. Y'all gotta wake up. Like, I get it. Jay-Z is one of them mythics. He's mythic within this point. I get it. I promise you I do. But you gotta understand the play. Like, I get it, Dame Dash, she goes off on his tangents. I'm just going based off of what he said. I'm not talking about the Yankee and the motherfucking button up, cause he like, who was doing that? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what he said. You understand what I mean?
And even in major art and like Keith Haring,
yeah,
and Basquiat, actually, street artists.
Yeah.
took it to a next level. It's not part of hip hop. DJ.
Let's talk about the Basquiat type of aesthetic that he's been putting on. This nigga been in Halloween for the last 5 years, ever since COVID. I don't know. To me personally, I'm not gonna hold you, but you still in his swag, you still in his steez, you still in his mojo. And I'm gonna go a little bit deeper. Because you a billionaire, it looks even more nasty. Because you talk about how the aspect of we should grow up, like as far as artists, like rap artists that basically try to steal young folks vernacular. He talks about it like that, right? But nigga, you're wearing locks like Basquiat and you never took them off. I don't know. Is it just me? I get it. He's Jay-Z. I get it. Nobody wants to tell this nigga like what we doing. But it's like, what we doing? You understand what I mean? I digress. Let's proceed.
The DJ was in the forefront. It was Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Right, yeah.
Eric B. and Rakim.
Yeah.
You don't even know the DJ for half of the artists anymore. Who's Drake DJ? I have no idea. Okay.
Couldn't tell you off top.
That no longer exists. And the last pillar is battling. We love the excitement. And I love the sparring and the music you get.
Listen.
But in this day and age, it's so much negative stuff that comes with it. They almost wish it didn't happen.
What is he doing when he gets on that stage and says all of them quote unquote double entendres and sayings that he said? They said he was talking about Tory Lanez. Why are you bringing Tory Lanez up? I don't know. But again, he talked about Tory Lanez as the aspect of he's the one that spoke on the phone about what he did when he was drunk. It's dry snitching, nigga. You dry snitching. Again, he's not a street nigga no more. So he's a reformed street nigga. I don't know. I'm not from the streets. All I'm saying is, okay. All right. So, but going back to the battling aspect, Tory Lanez, Nicki Minaj. Who else he go at? He go at Nicki Minaj's husband, her king. What he said? He goes after Tory Lanez and his dad. He goes after who else did he goes after? I think he goes after Dame Dash. They tell he goes after Oshino already talking shit. He goes after Jaguar, right? All of the people that's basically been shitting on his name, technically, right? Or casting doubt on his name. I'm not shitting on his name, but casting doubt on what type of man he is, right? His character. He also goes into the aspect of how he could never thank God that his grandma doesn't pass, because I get that, you know what I mean? You want to clear your name to let your grandma know I'm not that type of man. I've never been that type of man. I get that, right? But again, this is what he said, and it's almost like he said, I'm gonna just go back. We love the excitement.
Battling. We love the excitement, and I love the sparring and the music you get. But in this day and age,
the music you get,
it's so much negative stuff that comes with it.
There's so much negative stuff that comes with it that you wish it didn't happen.
Really?
Yeah, because it's almost like it's a final thing. Now people that like Kendrick hate Drake.
Yeah.
No matter what he makes, no matter what he says, and it goes far too. It's like attack on his character.
Attack on their character. I get the aspect of causes and I'm not saying that right and wrong. I'm saying choose a side and stay on it. Because you can't say shit like this and then do the complete opposite and attack people's character. Again, you play the fucking monk. Now you was in this mode, you're Buddha, right? You're Buddha, all consequence. Everything, the whole saying with Buddha is basically humans' greatest enemy is want, whether it be the want to be right, the need, the want to basically prove that your innocence, the ego, basically, right? This is him in his Buddha form. Cool. Stay in that Buddha form. Why are you at the Roost Picnic talking the shit that you're talking? I get it. It's excitement. It gets the people going. It's provocative, right? I get it. But choose a side, stay on it. Choose a side, stay on it. You know what I mean? That's just me. I know I may die on this hill alone, but nobody's talking about the aspect of, nigga, you was just in a GQ interview telling niggas that we shouldn't battle, and you're saying things that will enact a battle upon you. You want people to battle you now. You want people to have beef with you. It's I just and you can't really say this. I get it. You can't really say this because it's kind of like, well, duh. He wants to attack the people that attacked him, but he was on his high horse. He's on his high horse with this GQ interview talking about battle rapping. I just don't understand this shit.
And it's like, I don't know if I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's helpful to our growth, where the fallout lands.
Where the fallout
Especially
lands.
on,
I
like,
get that.
you know,
I
on
promise
social
you, I
media,
get that.
which takes place every day.
Yeah.
And that
All they talking about right now is the Jay-Z shit on social media. Again, I get it. I understand. What I'm saying to you is, if you're gonna say this, stay on that side. Stay on that side.
now you have these pods of hope.
The Stan armies fighting.
Yeah, and it's like it's too far.
Yeah.
It's like bringing people kids in it.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't like that. You know, maybe I've grown in a space that
In the rap battle, he talks about how old boy can't even see his kids now. I mean, well, he can't even go to the school or whatnot. He was talking about some shit like that. Basically, how he can't. He talking about Nicki Minaj's man, right? And again, Nicki Minaj's man didn't come from him. It was Nicki Minaj, right? But again, this is beef. This is beef. This is how rap battle goes. You understand what I mean? But he's bringing somebody's family into this quote unquote sparring that he's having with Nicki Minaj. One thing I learned, like as a man coming from the South, is you always have the dirty dozens, right? And the best type of people that get away with dirty dozens, the best type of people that get away with the, you know, joning and shit, like when you joning on a motherfucker, roasting a nigga, is the motherfuckers that can keep it directly on that person. Not his mama, not his daddy, not his bald-headed granny. not the kids, not the mama, you know what I mean? Not the none of the girlfriend that can solely single out what you got on. You feel me? Your motherfucking lemon pepper steppers, you feel me? Just keeping it directly on them. You understand what I mean? But again, he's the one that said he doesn't like the fact that it involves family. He said that. He said that. What we doing then? With the Roots picnic, what we doing? He said that. Tory Lanez with the talking to the daddy, talk directly to the dad. You understand what I mean? You a wordsmith. Put that shit together. You've been doing this for over 20 years. You know how to do it. But this, I'm going based off of what he said. I get it. I promise you, I get how cause and effect. These people have came at Jay-Z. Of course, I'm thinking in my head, Jay-Z's gonna go back and snap back. But all of that shit was pushed to the stop on a halt when I seen this interview right here. Cause it's saying to me that you don't fuck with beef type shit. You don't fuck with the rap battling. You don't fuck with the sparring. Because you also said that if you're gonna do it, you would rather them be involved in the back and forth on some Method Man and Biggie type shit. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. That was a good fucking track. That was a good fucking track. And you know what I mean? Like that lyrical sparring, like going back and forth, but still getting to the same end goal.
it's probably, you know, I sound like the old guy wagging the thing. But I think we can achieve the same thing as far as like sparring with music, with collaborations more so than breaking the whole thing apart.
Yeah.
It could stand it before because there was no social media and there was no thing, and you know, you had the battle and it was fun and then you moved on.
Right
now I don't know if it could stand it with the technology that we have.
He's saying all this and still did what he did at the Roots picnic. He knew the niggas had their phone up on the fucking picnics. Let's stop this, Jay-Z. Let's stop this. Stop playing this game like you just so much bigger than the program, nigga. Stop playing this game like you bigger than the fucking program, nigga. You play the same. You are allowed to play the same game that everybody else played, nigga. Talk about some don't say things like allowed. Let's go back to that. And that's my first, what grinds my gears with this whole Jay-Z shit, with him coming back, the resurgence of him coming back with this Roots picnic shit. Again, get your money, nigga. Get your money. But don't tell niggas that it's like the beef and rap shit should be over and you do this shit. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Like, don't say, just stand on your side. If you're gonna do this, then stay on that side. That's all. I'm gonna go to the capitalistic shit that he was. Don't say, you know, don't take the allow out of your take allow out of your fucking what do you say? Take allow out of your vocabulary. Let me make sure I find it. Give me a minute, y'all.
Sticking with a written testimony, you have a couple of verses on there that I really like because they kind of speak to what's going on with you in a broader sense in the culture, like on Universal Soldier. I think it is when you said that you don't keep the same energy for the DuPonts and the Carnegies.
Yeah.
So I wanted you to talk a little bit about this idea of like you said earlier, like the things that you do for the culture, the ways that you put on, the ways that you try to protect and move forward, but kind of the pushback that you get sometimes about like people throw capitalists at you in a derogatory sense.
Yeah, I think in that verse specifically, the only thing I heard coming up was the American dream. until we started being successful. And it was like, wait a minute, you're selling out because you're making money. That was the first thing that was put on musicians. People had this law for the struggling artists. That's a mind game. What we would call back in the day for tricknology. It was like, no, I'm not going for that. Like, no, I make art first, and then I make sure that I'm compensated for my art. I didn't take advantage. I didn't get here by.
A nigga kind of he talk about Oshino stuttering. You see how he just did that little stutter?
Like, no, I make art first, and then I make sure that I'm compensated for my art. I didn't take advantage. I didn't get here by taking advantage of people. I didn't take advantage. No one.
You know what I'm thinking in my head when I heard him say that shit? Is that fucking boy, that little boy that's like.
Have you ever had a dreams that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
I was like, this boy is just gonna keep saying this shit.
That's not my reputation. That's not what I do. I didn't get here by taking advantage of people or taking advantage of, the loopholes in the system or some wrinkle in like a capitalist structure.
Most, if not all, damn near every billionaire has to take advantage of loopholes, getting across any type of taxing. Let's just stop. Let's stop this shit, bruh. You are literally, it's again pissing on our head and calling it rain. Y'all know how I get with that shit. Let's stop, Jay-Z. You doing it right now at the Roots picnic. You literally gave us this GQ interview, had our ears perked up, and then you came out with this, had our ears perked up again, and now people are waiting. Is it an album? Is it something he's trying to sell? Is it a tour? What is he gonna do next? What he's gonna do next? I get it. You have to sell yourself. I get it. But don't try to make it seem as though you bigger than the program. Don't make it seem as though you're holier than thou. You know what I mean? You're trying to put this facade on. This is a facade, Jay-Z. This is a facade. You saying these type of words about you being a billionaire and not taking advantage of things that billionaires take advantage of. Again, you have to do what you got to do. I get it. But just call it for what it is. Don't soft blow this.
I didn't get here by taking advantage of people or taking advantage of, the loopholes in the system or some wrinkle in like a capitalist structure. That structure exists, and I just see the world for what it is, not for what I want it to be. I'm a realist, not an ideal. It's not idealistic. People speak about the world how they.
He's a realist, but he doesn't even want to be real about his ideas. He doesn't even want to be real about his ideas of what he thought about before he got to this place that he's at and how he's still going about it. The NFL deal, we're beyond kneeling. No, you beyond kneeling, nigga. You don't speak for all black American people. That's your ideal, nigga. That's not realistic. But you sold it to us. Not only did you sell it to us, but you sold it to NFL because it sounds better on paper. You know what else that you took advantage of? That nobody wants to speak on, but you know who is? That I don't fuck with, but I have to agree. You took advantage of the fact that Kendrick is the higher, more talked about, more within that beef that's going on currently. You took advantage of that, Jay-Z. You took advantage of that. So you put him in the forefront because if you were going by what you said about the beef, not only would you have Kendrick there, but you would also have Drake there on his side. You would have both of those stars. I don't know how you gonna do it. You'll figure it out. You a businessman, not a businessman. So I'm gonna let you handle your business. But to your point in the, later on in this interview, you said that if we could try to basically have both of them come together on the same track type shit. You feel me? Have Kendrick do his halftime, half of the halftime, and you have Drake do his half of the halftime. Because they both having a phenomenal little battle, right? That's what you was saying, right? Because it's like, what do I care with the beef? You understand what I mean? I'm sure that both of them either one would deny it, but the thing is that if going by what you said, you should have reached out to them. I'm pretty sure that neither one of them said, oh yeah, he reached out to me, but I turned him down. They would have loved to say that, but no, nobody talked about that. Nobody talked about that. You took advantage of that. Let's stop this, bruh. You took advantage. And that's what billionaires would do because that's going to make the NFL, which makes then turns to make you money. Let's stop this. This is realistically, you were taking advantage of that moment. That's what billionaires do. They take advantage of specific periods of time. That's what billionaires do. What are we talking about? Like, but you know what? I had to learn that. And you know how I learned that? Again, I keep shouting out Breaking Brown, Yvette Carnell, Jeremy Frimpong, and Tone Talks. That's how these people gain the massive amounts of wealth as far as billionaires is concerned. They took an exorbitant amount of advantage within low periods of time. You know what I mean? They talk about 2008 with the housing crisis. There were people that had money during that time and bought up a lot of fucking houses. Needless to say, them motherfuckers is billionaires right now, or close to it. They probably, most of them damn, like, it's a bad thing in Atlanta where it's like companies are literally it's nationwide, but in Atlanta it's a lot of like companies that's literally taking over vast amounts of Atlanta and pockets of Atlanta, shit, even and out the outskirts of Atlanta. And it's like, that's why nothing's affordable. It's just everything's fucking expensive as shit. But again, be it right or wrong, it's still these people taking advantage. It's capitalism. And I always say capitalism is a hell of a ism. You feel me? It's a hell of a ism.
They want to see it.
You said something just now, though, about you pushing independence, right? Kind of like in the spirit of Prince. When you embody that, do you feel like you are kind of setting a mold or leading a charge for like what the successful black man is allowed to do? And like breaking these spaces,
watch what he says.
These confines?
Yeah. I even want you to take that out of your vocabulary.
Take what?
Allowed. You know what I'm saying? We're not allowed to do anything. You know, in order for someone to allow you, they have to have authority over you.
When you say that, Jay-Z, how do you then say that you also are realistic? In your words, you are a realist, right? So you're realistic about the systemic issue that we have within this country. A system is a construct that's like a box. So if that's the case, then you understand that you're allowed to do this within that system and you're not allowed to do that. You understand what I mean? So it's like, again, it's the wordplay. I get it. He's a rapper. I get it. But it's like, don't let the words go over your head, dog. Like, don't let him wrap you in a fucking circle, nigga.
Mm-hmm. No one has authority over us.
I get that. We get that.
Exist like everyone else.
We get that. I understand. Nobody has authority over us as black people. I get it. But again, I'm going to say this same shit that I said in the last video with the Drake shit. You thought you was free, nigga. You thought you was free. He even said, again, going back to Jay-Z's quote, at the Rap Roots Festival, he was talking, again, speculation, but he was talking about that, nigga, your shit, your contract, speaking to Drake, your contract is in perpetuity, nigga. Your contract is allegedly within perpetuity. That's got people talking all types of, like, wait a minute, what? So maybe Jay-Z being the figure that he is and saying this, and his words holding weight, even if they don't make sense, even if they are contradicting, they still hold weight, right? He's saying that basically Drake's contract is allegedly in perpetuity. So that means even if he gets off, he still owes, you know what I mean? Which makes sense on why he would go so far. Now it's kind of like, oh shit. Now it's making sense on why he would go so far, although a little bit too much, a little bit salt, too much sauce, too much chip, too much dip on your chip, Drake, when it came to this battle shit. But I get how he basically went to the courts to basically almost on some Marty Bird shit off of Ozark. He goes to the FBI and the courts and be like, listen, the numbers is kind of fudged here. I'm not going to say who did it, but I'm going to just say the numbers is kind of fudged here. So you might want to look into this. You understand what I mean? That type of shit, right? Although he has a part to play in those fudging of the numbers, he's going to be like, listen, this is kind of fudgy. This is looking kind of shitty. And it'll basically break the contract null and void because it'll be something that it was illegal within a constitute of how the business was being conducted, which would then free him with his perpetuity contract, which was what I would understand if it's something illegal being handled on the back end, because again, the contract was like 400 million. That's what everybody was talking about, 400 million. But if this shit was in perpetuity, that's a nasty ass play, my nigga. You got to sell your ass. And that's basically what he did. I'm gonna leave it at that. I just this is the two things that grind my gear. The capitalism shit. He talk about capitalism.
else here. No one can allow us to do anything.
He didn't say
And-
shit like this.
But that question comes, that word comes from a real space. And I want to eliminate all those type of words for us.
Yeah.
Yes. So the answer to that is yes.
When you're on a mission to eliminate words like allow, like you said, do you feel like that makes you a target sometimes from
Hey, I don't know. I think the interviewer did a good job with his interview. To me personally, he asked him some good questions. He gave a little bit of pushback. It's just that his answers, Jay-Z's answers, is not lining up for him from what we're seeing with the Roots Picnic. Jay-Z's GQ interview is not aligning with the Roots Picnic. Those are two different types of people. Jay-Z GQ is the I'm at peace, I'm zen. Jay-Z Root is I'm on some Black Panther power shit with the afro, with the all black everything. And I'm trying to win. You feel me? I'm trying to win no matter what type shit. That's all. And like that, we gone. Y'all be good. Take care of yourselves. I gotta brace myself for the rest of the motherfucker. Wait, god damn. Y'all be good, man. Bunkai.